Good afternoon, Meramec Elementary. Hope everybody's had a wonderful week. I know it's been a little bit of a different schedule here at school, considering that we did not have any students here Tuesday due to all the elections and voting going on in and around in the area. And with some of the schools being polling places, last few years we found it much better to just make sure we're looking out and making sure we're taking care of the safety of everybody. When we think about all the different people coming through the building to vote, we typically have started closing the schools, or at least not having students during those days, and using it as professional development day, which we did this last Tuesday. So I wanted to start by just saying thank you. Thank you to everybody for coming out voting on Tuesdays, as I was just mentioning, and passing Prop O. We know that it was a big ask again to coming to our community. It's always great to feel that support, the margin, and that just that wonderful support that we were able to get from our school community really does make a huge difference. It's a positive feeling. Everybody was feeling really good Wednesday, knowing that support is there, and knowing what we're hopefully going to be able to do over the next few phases to help upgrade some of the facilities here in our district. So, we're starting with some of the things at the high school and then in Glen Ridge, and then the next phase is going to include Meramec, hopefully. So we'll be, hopefully you'll be hearing and seeing a lot of those changes happening over the next couple of years, and keeping that in mind as we get ready for Meramec down the road. So thank you to everybody as we passed all that by a pretty large margin there on Tuesday. So I want to say thank you again to everybody for getting out and voting and showing that support through our community. It really does make a big difference. Next thing I wanted to mention is this upcoming Wednesday. We started this last year, which is a day of service. So, we have a day of play and we have a day of service. So there's 2 days that we kind of separate and separate out from just regular normal business, because those are 2 things that we know that are very important. They're very important to our students in many ways, very important to us. It's the kind of things we want to value and show that we feel is important here at Meramec. So we take some time out, set some time aside for these kinds of things. So as I mentioned in February, play is so important because it's great for our students. Their social emotional skills helps them learn, helps them connect, and do so many different things by playing. As adults, there's a lot of things even saying as adults we could benefit from having a little bit more play. And then obviously there's service, and this idea of service lets kids know that they have a power, that they have the ability to make a difference, and that they can do something special. So on next Wednesday, we will have some sort of opportunity for every student in the building to perform a service in some way, shape, or form. And that can look different ways. It might be beautification here on our campus. It might be putting lunches of love together, all kinds of different things. So there's lots of different things that will happen on Wednesday, depending on students and which classrooms and how their classrooms are setting some of those things up. We're also partnering with the high school each year. The high school also has a day of service in which the seniors go out and do service. And last few years they volunteered here. So this year we are volunteering with them, where they are going to be coming to us as part of their service. And we've put our day of service and their day of service together. So we'll actually have some of our former Meramec Mustangs who will be coming over hopefully next Wednesday to help us out on our day of service as well. So it's a day we're all looking forward to. So that'll be next Wednesday will be our day of service. So I'll give you something to make sure you're asking your kids about next week. And then finally, just a reminder, tonight is our big trivia night. So it's rescheduled from the winter when we had some bad weather. So tonight we will be looking forward to seeing everybody over in Richmond Heights at the community center as we are meeting to play some trivia, have some fun, and really just support our Meramec PTO so they can continue to do everything they do for us and all the great things that they help provide for our teachers and our students and our families. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody over at trivia night tonight. So that's all I got for this week. We hope again that everybody's had a great week, and we look forward to seeing everyone on Monday.